Breaking news to start us off. It is officially happening. As of today, Thursday, February 2026, Germany is hitting the accelerator on EuroPULS missile production.
And this is just, some routine contract signing.
No, this feels different. This is a move that fundamentally redraws the map of European defense. We're talking about a massive surge in rocket artillery that sends a very clear signal.
That Europe is finally getting serious about deep strike capability, about hitting back.
Absolutely. And before we dive into the details, if you stand with Ukraine for freedom and for justice, we need you with us. Oh, subscribe to Defense Reports, your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. Join me in the latest program by Defense Report for the latest in global defense news, military technology, and strategic developments. And today we're going to cover a game-changing alliance.
Huh?
One that is turning Germany into, well, the central arsenal for rocket artillery in Europe. We've all seen the headlines about the teaming agreement between Israel's Elbit Systems and Germany's Diehl Defense. But when you actually dig into the sources, this is so much more than just Germany buying a few new systems for the Bundeswehr. It feels like a total industrial overhaul.
It really is.
Yeah.
What we are witnessing is Elbit, effectively handing over the keys to Germany to become the manufacturing hub for the whole continent.
And the strategy behind that is what?
Logistics.
Logistics and survival. You just can't fight a high-intensity war in Eastern Europe if you're relying on shipping containers arriving from the Middle East. It's not sustainable.
No, you need the factories right here.
Pumping out ammo 24/7 right on European soil.
And for that, Diehl is really the perfect local partner. I mean, everyone listening probably knows their name by now.
Oh, definitely. Because of the IRIS-T air defense systems.
Which have been absolute heroes protecting Ukrainian skies.
That's the key here. Diehl has the factories, and they have the political trust, but they aren't doing this alone.
Right. There's a whole constellation of companies.
Some real heavy hitters. You've got KNDS, the tank heavyweights of Europe. They're acting as integrators.
Then you have MBDA Germany, the cruise missile specialists, and Bayern Chemie is handling the rocket motors. It's a localized who's who of the defense industry.
So the whole idea is that when, say, the Netherlands or Denmark need these rockets, they aren't placing an order overseas with a long lead time. They're buying from a German factory practically next door.
Exactly. It's all about strategic autonomy. It secures the supply chain against any disruptions, which is, well, it's critical when you're facing a persistent threat like Russia.
Let's talk about the hardware itself, because this EuroPL system, it's being pitched as a kind of Swiss Army knife for artillery.
Yeah, that versatility is the main selling point. It's mounted on this huge Iveco Tracker 8x8 chassis, but the launcher is where the magic really happens.
It's not just firing one type of rocket.
No, it's fully modular. You can load it with X-ray missiles for precision strikes out to, say, 150 kilometers.
But what if you need more range?
Then you just swap in the Predator Hawk ballistic missiles. And now suddenly you're hitting targets 300 kilometers away.
And that 300-kilometer range is the critical gap, isn't it? We've seen it in Ukraine.
We certainly have.
Hitting the front line is one thing, but you have to be able to hit the logistics hubs, the command centers, way in the back.
That is the exact deep strike capability that European NATO forces have for a long time lacked. The EuroPLS is designed specifically to close that gap.
And it's not just those two.
No, they're even integrating the Naval Strike Missile and AT-2 anti-tank mine rockets. It is an entire arsenal tailored to counter Russian doctrine.
There's also a fascinating business angle to this. I was looking through the Diehl Group annual report from 2024, and wow, business is booming.
It is. Their defense sales jumped nearly 39% to 1.8 billion euros. The Rearm Europe plan is very real.
And that demand is, of course, largely driven by the war in Ukraine.
Absolutely. Diehl put a record 332 million euros back into new capacity. But here's the twist. While Diehl is soaring, this whole deal is actually, sort of, a rescue mission for Elbit in Europe.
This goes back to what happened in Norway just a few months ago, right?
Right. Back in November 2025, Norway looked at the EuroPLS and said, no thanks.
They went with the Americans and the South Koreans instead, HIMARS and Chunmoo.
Which was a massive blow to Elbit's prestige, a huge loss.
So losing Oslo means they absolutely could not afford to lose Berlin.
Germany is their firewall. If Elbit can embed themselves deep in the German supply chain, they secure their future in Europe. If this had failed, they were honestly looking at being pushed out of the market.
It just highlights how the war in Ukraine has completely upended the entire industry. It's not just about profit anymore.
No, it's about survival. It's about securing the industrial base you need to defend the continent.
Which I think brings us to the final really provocative question. We're building this massive capacity for deep strike missiles in Germany. The hardware will physically be there. The question is, once those factories are churning these out, will the political will finally follow to send these long-range assets directly to the front lines in Ukraine where they are needed most? That is the multi-million euro question. You've been listening to Defense Report by Alex, where we analyze the latest in military strategy, global defense, and advanced weaponry.
Subscribe to Defense Reports, your trusted source for timely, in-depth military and defense analysis. We'll see you next time. Keep supporting us so we can continue bringing you the latest developments from Ukraine and around the world.